But Pete Carroll, Pete.
Why'd you say you don't want him to go to the Bears?
So
Because you want
earlier,
Cliff going there?
um, um, I'm not gonna lie. Pete Carroll deciding to come back into the NFL.
Unretire.
If
Well, I think he's still in Seattle's executive bullshit.
But like when I think of a coach like Cliff Kingsbury, Mike Vrabel,
Oh, wow. I love Raves, dude.
it's like
Big
they
fan.
seem more like the coach that would be more just better suited for a team that needs a lot of improvements. Like,
Sure.
okay, the reason that I say I don't want him to go to Chicago is because I know Cincinnati is going to be looking for a head coach.
Cincinnati is.
Zach Taylor?
You
I
think Cincinnati's booting Zach
I
Taylor?
almost hope they don't make it to the playoffs just so they 100% boot Zach Taylor. Like that's the one thing I almost realize is if they make the playoffs, they're probably not going to get rid of him, which is going to fuck them. I promise you, it's going to fuck them.
Damn. Yeah.
But I feel like there's a world where, just to avoid like tampering or anything, it's like you're only going to say the teams you're interested in that have an open spot as of right now.
Exactly.
If you're sitting here saying, "Yo, I'm interested in the Cincinnati spot," like
And
everybody's gonna be like,
yeah,
"What Cincinnati spot? Like, what are
I'm
you?"
interested in the Kansas City
It's like,
spot.
"What
It's
Cincinnati
like
spot are you talking
Andy Reid's
about?"
retiring. Oh, weird.
But I don't want him to go. I'd rather him go to a more ready team. I'd rather see Pete go to. It was kind of the same thing with Bill. Like I didn't want to see Bill. Obviously, we didn't expect him to go college route, but I didn't want to see Bill
No.
go. Try to fucking figure things out
Go to the
in
Browns.
Chicago or figure
Yeah.
things out in Cleveland. I want to see Pete go to Cincinnati and maybe figure it out there. I don't want him to go to Chicago and just be the reason they suck next year because they'll just put it on Pete Carroll or
I mean,
the
Pete Carroll
Giants.
could be an out.
I mean, the Giants.
Yeah,
The Giants. Do you really want to see Pete Carroll? I don't know, bro. It's like
I honestly I like Vrabes to the Bears a lot.
I
I mean,
think
he's a guy who has shown that he can do a lot with a little. Now he had Derrick Henry and all that, but in terms of a quarterback situation and a passing game and whatever, he can
I
bring the troops together.
I think for me, I would want Pete to Cincinnati,
Mm-hmm.
Cliff to Chicago,
Mm-hmm.
and then Mike to the Giants. If
Who's going to Vegas?
Shador truly ends up, they're giving Antonio Pierce another chance, which is going to be a big old mistake. I know they are. There's no way they're not. If the Raiders fire Antonio Pierce, that changes a lot of shit up. Because I think
there's gonna be a lot of guys gunning for that job.
I think Vrabel and Pete would be interested in that. I think Cliff to Chicago should be what happens. If Shador is set,
but it's an experiment that could go bad,
Yeah, but I mean, it's I feel like it's if you told me,
but,
we're pairing up Caleb against these three head coaches, what do you think you're gonna get the best version of Caleb?
The best version of Caleb.
I think it's gonna be Cliff.
But again, they kind of did it with Kyler. I mean, obviously Kyler isn't bad, but Cliff gets booted. If Caleb doesn't play well, Cliff is going to get booted. It's going to be Cliff's fault.
Yeah, but Cliff has also
But they do have the most potential to create an explosive offense.
And I don't know in the Giants if Shador is truly going to be going to the New York Giants, maybe you can tell me why, but for some reason it just seems like out of those three, Vrabel would just vibe best with Shador. I don't know what it is. I don't know. Maybe it's
he could
because I feel like maybe. And look,
are we eliminating the Dion factor?
Yeah.
Maybe that's why New York would take Shador 1.
I think Dion. if he isn't, if he ends up being a coach for Shador next year, he needs to win an Oscar for how emotional he
Package
was.
deal.
No, he needs to win an Oscar for how emotional he was before this
When?
final game.
Oh,
This was
really?
his last time coaching Travis, Shiloh, Shador, all that shit. It's like there's.
Yeah, I don't watch that, but
I think he's not. He's staying in college for now.
you're telling me you pick up a quarterback, you get Dion, fire Daboll, and now you got the Shador Sanders show.
Not doing that. I should. And Deion said he didn't want to go coach in the NFL, so I'm gonna just take that for what it is now and say, I don't think Shador. Now, not to I don't even want the Shador Dick Riders to come for me, but maybe they can even agree just a
Pause.
little bit,
Pause.
Maybe Cliff would be a little too controlling. Stop fucking pausing me. Maybe Cliff would be a little more. Maybe, god damn.
Dude,
Maybe Cliff would be a little too controlling. Just like
pause.
for Shador. Like I feel like Shador would be like, all right, like okay, like leave me alone. And I'm not saying that's Cliff's fault, but I'm just saying if
Well,
we're
I think Vrabel would be the same way too. No,
I don't know. He's not that quarterback guru, though. You know what I mean? Cliff is a quarterback
nah. So yeah,
guru.
he's gonna leave it to the boys.
You know,
I agree. Yeah.
Vrabel is not a quarterback guru. He was. Yeah, we'll get it done with Ryan for sure.
Nah, for real. Yeah.
Give it to Derek. We're good. Like that was
Yeah.
his.
No.
I mean, that was his thing. We have a great defense. Ooh, but Vrabel to Cincinnati.
Ooh.
Like that's just
Ooh.
fun. I
Vrabel
know
and
Vrabel
Burr.
just. I don't know, bro.
I love Vrabel. The fact that he's not in the league right now makes me upset.
But why? What's?
He's a good coach.
He's cool.
I think he's better than a lot of these fucking shit ticks running around.
Look, I like. It's just the idea for Cliff to Chicago. I think is sealed in my mind.
Could be.
So
yeah, we'll
like
see.
I said, if the Raiders end up looking for a head coach, I think that shakes a lot of things up. But I just feel like if Shador's truly going to be a Giant, I'd probably I'd over Pete Carroll and Cliff. I'd rather have Vrabel over there, and absolutely not Brian Dabble. Broken walk or hobble or waddle.
Brian and Daniel Jones got lucky that they had Saquon and won a playoff game and whatever.
But yeah, I guess until further notice, because that's the thing, we're not really gonna know until head coaches are getting fired. Like more head coaches getting fired, or teams are coming out and saying we're sticking with this guy or we're not or whatever. We're not really gonna be able to give true potential landing spots. But as of right now, I think Cincinnati, Giants, Chicago, even potentially a Vegas are all on the table for new head coaches next season.